Now today we're talking about the activity of God outside Himself, namely creation. Now God creates all things out of nothing. And God is not obliged to create because He is already infinitely perfect and sufficient. He has no need of any creatures at all. No need. And so the reason why He creates is because out of His love, He would like to share His goodness with creatures. God created all things out of nothing and He part with nothing. That means when He created out of nothing, He also hadn't lose any of Himself. He part with nothing. Whenever we have to make something, we have to make something out of something else. We can never make anything out of nothing. But only God can make things out of nothing. And God revealed the manner of His creation. Of course, in the tradition is to Moses, because it was the first 5 books of the Bible. They were attributed to Moses. And so the book of Genesis, creation account. First create the spiritual world, the angels. They are purely spiritual. And then God created the corporeal world, the physical world. So the physical world, and then it's recorded in the book of Genesis. And then finally God created man. And man is unique because it's spiritual and material combined. So man is spiritual and material combined. And so this is pretty unique. And it will be on my website.
Yes.
Oh, you know, it said that there was chaos, and the Spirit of God breathed on the chaos. So that's the first phrase. When God creates something, some material things, out of nothing. And in the second stage, you find that there is order. Now, God will bring order to what He had created by separating. So the first 3 days of the 6 days of creation, the first 3 days have to do with separating. So the first day, God made light and He separated light from darkness. The second day, God separated the water of heaven and the water of the earth, and so did the sky and the ocean. And then the third day, God separated the land from the water. So the separation that brought about order. So it's like God prepared the scene. And now, the 4th to the 6th day, God decorated the scene. So the 4th day corresponds to the first day, this light, and God decorated with the sun and the moon and the stars. The 5th day corresponds to the second day, is above and below the sky and ocean, so God decorated the sky with birds and the ocean with fish. And the 6th day corresponds to the 3rd day, that God decorated the land with animals. And finally, above all, with human beings. The purpose of the creation account in Genesis is not a scientific account. It's a religious account. The purpose is to recall the great truths of religion in that particular account. Creation, when you talk about the doctrine of creation, of course, in the next session, I'm going to talk about angels, and in the next session we are going to be here. I'm going to talk about creation of man and the fall of man. If you have all those lessons together, basically the whole story of creation is about 2 wills: the will of God and the will of man. The will of God to create and to look after and to show His love, to share His goodness. And the will of man, how the will of man struggle and disobey God.